Hi, it's Dev here. I'm freezing my ass off outside the Łazienki Royal Palace in Warsaw in Poland. For the past week I've been traveling around here, and I've been really excited to just basically take off from Sydney for a while and travel around Europe, mostly around Poland. Meeting some really interesting people, being invited to speak at a couple of really interesting workshops and conferences, and interview some really interesting and inspiring entrepreneurs along the way. And one thing that I get asked a lot in my life is, and often it's by people who are not really in the entrepreneurial sphere, is how can you just get up and go like this? How do you just pick your life up and move? Either you must have a lot of money, or you must have a lot of planned and scheduled business to attend to, or you must just be super flat out and busy. And I want to talk about this idea of people aspiring to have lazy days, and people aspiring to have sort of these chill out periods after these super blast modes of working really hardcore. I haven't worked too much in the corporate space, but when I worked, I found that there's a very prolific culture that is very obvious. Everyone talks about this, where you work 9 to 5 or 8 to 7, depending on where you are, Monday to Friday, and then as Wednesday comes along, which is sort of known as a hump day, you get to Friday and people start talking about, yes, it's Friday, weekend coming up. All right, let's go out party. And if you're young enough, you might think about getting pissed drunk and wasted. And that's your idea of your reprieve and relaxation. And if you're slightly older, or maybe you're family oriented, your idea might be to spend your days with family. But that essentially becomes your goal of your experiential reprieve at the end of a working week. I've never really personally liked the idea of work-life balance, at least the term itself. I've spoken to a lot of people who propagate it, and often people who advise me, and they say, Dev, you should have more work-life balance. And I actually really like the idea of work-life integration. That's really what I believe for myself, that my work is very much integrated with my life. It's really much a part of my life that flows on. And instead of thinking about me working really hard and trying to figure out, okay, at the end of this, what do I look forward to? And that looking forward to happens to be a day where I can just do absolutely nothing. I think of it as, well, I need to ask myself consistently and constantly, am I choosing to do what I'm doing right now? So that I don't have to look forward to a day where essentially I can give myself the illusion that doing nothing is what I choose to do. Or, for that matter, going to the pub and going out with friends and getting drunk is what I choose to do. Or, for that matter, spending time with my family in a very segmented way, in a very sort of focus-oriented way that is completely separate from my work life, is what I choose to do. And having said that, everything else that I do leading up to that point is not by choice. I'm essentially a slave to my circumstances, I'm a slave to my work, I'm a slave to my business, I'm a slave to my job. Whatever it is that I'm doing, it's not by my choosing. My throat's already getting super cold. And it's occurred to me that more and more I talk to people all around the world, across different cultures and wherever they might be from, different ages, different experiences. It's so easy to get caught up in this trap of believing that if you're on a holiday, you're choosing your life. If you're working, you're not choosing your life. But the fact is that you can choose your life doing whatever you're doing. In fact, I really believe this, and it might sound crazy to you, but you could be doing something that you don't even enjoy doing, but all you need to do is choose it. Choose your position to be in that situation, and you can start enjoying it more. Or at least you can start relaxing and figuring out and realigning and reorienting your idea of what the peak experience is at the end of it. And what does that mean? The peak experience that some people seek for is when they go travel, they want to go skydiving, or they want to do some rock climbing, or they want to enjoy a massive, fantastic meal at a luxury restaurant that they've been looking forward to. Or maybe for some people, it's just actually saving up an amount of money, working their butts off, getting to a certain point where they can go and travel, and sort of that whole experience is their peak experience. The problem with this is that when your peak experiences become the main focus of your decisions, they become the main focus of the value of everything that you're doing. You become so attached to the outcome of doing whatever it is that you're doing that you feel that your freedom can only be had when you reach that peak experience. when you reach that weekend party time, or you reach your family vacation time maybe twice a year, or you reach your holiday break, or you happen to reach that one day that you can plan into your schedule where you're really just switching off and doing nothing and being completely unproductive, or simply, it's your idea that your relaxation gets attached to this notion of not having to work. For me, my work is extremely relaxing. Even when it's stressful, it's still relaxing. And I know that sounds very semantic and paradoxical, and it's like, okay, well, that's kind of a facetious thing to say. But really what I mean by that is that even when I'm under pressure and on the crunch and, working hard and doing a lot of things, it's not that I'm a workaholic, and it's not that I'm a super type A personality. It's that I realign my values and I reorient myself to focus on my values, to remind myself that what I'm doing is by choice. And everything has a cost associated with it. Even chilling out and doing nothing has a cost associated with it. Traveling has a cost associated with it. Skydiving as a peak experience has a cost associated with it. I think the reason that we forget to choose what it is that we're doing is because we forget that everything has a cost associated with it, and we forget that we've chosen to pay a price for it. If you choose to eat crap and get out of hand with that control, you're choosing to let your body go. The price you pay is your health may deteriorate, at least over time. It will, depending on where you're actually at. If you choose to go to the gym, you can go to the gym and complain and moan and whine that you're doing this and you're not doing it by choice, because your choice is actually on the other end of the rainbow, so to speak, which is getting six-pack abs or getting super fit or being in a shape to partake in a particular competition. Again, the problem is that you believe the process towards that journey is not your choosing. The choice that you're making is only the freedom or the achievement or the accomplishment that you have at the end. If you start choosing the entire journey itself, and it almost sounds as cliche as enjoy the journey, don't get so obsessed over the destination, but if you choose to create more and more intermittent peak experiences for yourself that are actually associated with reminding yourself that you choose to be where you're at and you choose to do what you're doing, and you simply choose to pay the price for the choices that you make, then you'll be a lot happier, you'll be in a lot more control, and best of all, you'll be able to relax just like that wherever you are. And I think that's really powerful in propelling you forward towards whatever peak experiences you choose, but more importantly, it allows you to have a lot more fulfilling life. It allows you to be a lot more centered and balanced in whatever you do in life. It allows you to have a lot more fulfilling and nourishing relationships with people, because you're generally more chill, you're generally more centered, more balanced, more handled. And then when things do go wrong around you, when things happen that genuinely are outside of your control, you know that you have that much more control over your life, because whatever external factors are happening, at least you're choosing to be in the very spot that you're in.